what's going on? It's another Monday, so you already know what that means. It's Motivation Monday, fam. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Let's get into it. Now, as you guys already know, firstly, I don't edit any of this stuff, right? So whatever you get, you get. Secondly, if I say something you don't like, let me know in the comments. Personally, I don't care, but I'd love to hear how you feel about it. And thirdly, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and talk your head off, right? So we'll get straight into it. Now, they're doing some construction over there. They're doing some cement mixing. So at some point, I probably will have to just get up, depending on how loud it gets. But let's see what happens for the first couple of minutes, then we'll get into it. So let's go ahead and just start right off the bat. All right, I think I'm actually gonna have to leave. I'm probably gonna have to leave, hold up. Now, I said I wasn't gonna edit this, and I'm keeping to my word. I'm not editing shit. Sorry. I don't mean to be rude either. I'm just saying no. All right, gentlemen. Let's go. Let's do it. That cement mixing is a bit much for my personal opinion. All right, cool. So anyway, what's going on, gentlemen? It's Monday. It's a new fucking day. It's a new month. And that also means the seasons are changing, right? So what does that mean? Fall is coming. Going out is gonna be less frequent. I mean, some of y'all don't go out, period. I don't, so don't take that as a roast. I don't go out. I just don't like intermingling with certain individuals. But you know, for the most part, I find it interesting because we always talk about like it's grind time, it's time to lock in, it's time to focus, it's time to finally achieve, right? Like it's time to finally get this shit done. But sometimes we don't even lock in for real. Like we'll lock in for 90 days or we'll lock in for like 120 days, half a year or some shit. And then boom, fall off, right back to where you started. I think part of that is due because sometimes we spread ourselves just a little bit too thin when it comes to, I got people with dogs. Now it's really about to get real. Told you, I'm not editing a goddamn thing. So I think sometimes with us, we get so caught up in the feeling of being focused, locking in. Now it's time to get the things that we want. But then we forget about how daunting that work is, right? And then when that finally happens, we start realizing like, oh, this might be a little more work than what I thought it would be. So therefore, you get caught in a conundrum. Now, here's the thing. Got some old granny looking at me, man. I think one of the most annoying things about life, depending on, you know, if you're semi-attractive or attractive, or, you know, you just have a unique face, people will always fucking look at you. It's fucking annoying. But anyway, so here's the thing, right? It's a new season. It's September. We've got September, October, November, December. That's approximately 4 months if you want to work it into January, maybe even 5, right? You've got 5 months to start your year over again. You've also got 5 months of potential opportunity, but it's really dependent on how you approach this, right? So why do we always fall off when it comes time for a quote unquote locking in? Oh, they're doing construction over here too? God damn, all right. Well, this is about to get a whole lot more interesting. I swear, being the only brown guy doing shit like this, walking around a bunch of white people, sounds dangerous. I'm just joking. Don't get your panties in a bunch. So yeah, let's talk about why we fall off. All right, I'm in a new area. Let me just lock this shit down and then we'll get to it. This has probably been the worst videographed video I've ever made, if that even makes sense. But all right, let's talk about why we fall off sometimes. We often fall off from the grind, if I could piggyback off of what I was saying before, because we realize how much work is involved. Like, I'm in the process of starting something a little bit different, still within the same conglomerate or the same umbrella of the things I normally do. It's just gonna be on a larger scale, right? So between all the products that I'm working on, for me, I've realized that if I spread myself way too thin, then I'm more likely to fall off. However, one thing that I've also realized is, regardless of what it is, the work can still seem daunting, even if it's something you've done before, right? Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of us are trying some things over again, right? Like maybe this is your second business. Maybe this is your, I don't know, third marriage. I wouldn't try that 3 times, but hey, you do you. But in this case, if you're focused on making it work, as that experience, as you go on, you understand it more, right? So you understand just how daunting that workload could be, just how daunting being consistent with that could actually be. So because of that, we falter a little bit, right? And then I think for a lot of people that are new to a lot of these spaces, like for example, for some of you content creators, a lot of you think you can just upload one video like one day at a time and that's it. Fam, you need to crank this shit out like hotcakes. Like if you're going to be making social media content and you're gonna be serious about it, because I do believe there's a difference between the two. There's like some people who see it as a hobby and some people who really wanna make it something. I think I'm somewhere in between. But anyway, if you really wanna make this something, you gotta make as much content as possible. Unless you already have like some sort of clout, like people already know who you are, like celebrities. A lot of famous celebrities could start a YouTube channel and boom, you know, they've got 1,000 subscribers, all the watch time, they've got, you know, everything that you worked 1.5 years, 2 years to get, they already got it. So, you know, with those things being said, it's gonna be a lot easier for some people. And that's just the realities of life, right? But here's the beauty of it. When you get past the idea of how much work it's gonna take, when you get past the idea of how long it's gonna take, because that's something that causes us to fall off as well. You know, sometimes when we're in the midst of all of this, or like we're making some sort of progress, but it's not enough to, you know, to what we'd like, we end up in a situation where we start thinking to ourselves like, damn, when is this shit gonna take off? Like, yo, these bills are kicking my ass. When am I gonna be able to make some more side money? You know what I mean? Like, just examples. These are the things that some of us might be thinking about. I know my personal experience, in my case, I'd like to think I'm still a relatively, is it raining now? Oh no. All right, y'all, we're gonna have to move. But anyway, I'd like to think I'm a relatively young man. I just turned 32 recently. I mean, at this point, someone could consider me middle-aged, and I wouldn't disagree with them. But I know that relatively, if I stay healthy, there's a lot more years left than years have gone. So with that being said, I'd like to think I'm still young. But, you know, for a lot of the things that I want to achieve, like bigger acting gigs, bigger brand deals, bigger acting, modeling shoots, excuse me, I often think to myself like, God damn, like how long is this gonna take? I've been doing this since I was 26. How much longer can I wait? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, let's be real, at some point, I'm not saying you have to face reality, but there is something to be said about your dreams not working or moving as fast as you'd like them to, excuse me. And then all the meanwhile, you're probably still at your job. You're probably still in a bad relationship. You're probably still, you know, piled up with debt. I know that was me at some point, not married or at the job, but you know, your boy had some debt. Motherfucker still owe the IRS, but hey, it's neither here or there, fam. The point I'm trying to make, I should say, excuse me, is, you know, at some point, you have to realize that there's a lot of things that just aren't in your control. And what you can control are your actions and consistency. And if you allow yourself to be dissuaded by the external factors and the things that are happening outside of you, it's gonna be much, much harder for you to stay focused and for you to stay on your purpose, quote unquote purpose, right? I think everything we do is transient. Like, you might do one thing for life, or you know, you might have an affinity for something, but I think to some degree, all of our lives change in some aspect, right? So I'm not gonna talk too long. I'm not gonna talk your head off. If you guys want a follow-up video on this, I'm more than happy to do that. But anyway, gentlemen, it's September. It's gonna be 2026. 2026, that sounds crazy to say. It's gonna be 2026 soon, right? What are we doing, guys? And for some of the ladies that are watching, same shit. You wanna boss up? I mean, hey, I ain't got no problems with a boss chick. You wanna boss up? Go for it. You know, but my question is, are you gonna make this the year that you finally do that, or are you gonna fall off again? And I'm asking myself the same damn thing. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.